Welcome to Can I Park Here? Brought to you by FindAFashionTruck.com. Nashay and Estrell's mission is to inspire future and existing small business owners. They don't claim to be experts. They're simply trying to figure this all out, just like you.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Can I Park Here podcast, brought to you by FindAFashionTruck.com. My name is Nashay Snow, and I'm here with
Estrell Riles.
Before we get into today's episode, we just wanted to let you guys know a new way to support us. It's interesting. You know, we offer like the consulting services, but what we found over the last several months that this podcast, it like consumes so much of your time. And so we're actually, even though we will do consulting if someone needs it, we're not really going to advertise it as much because we really truly, you know, after like getting together, we just determined that really, we want to focus all our efforts on this podcast. And I don't remember, Estrell, are we over like 12 or 15,000 downloads for the podcast?
Yeah, I think it's more around 12.
Yeah. So, no, I just looked and we have 14,308 downloads. So that's like crazy. And of course we have like some goals, like we'd love to get to like 50,000 by the end of the year, which probably won't happen. But even if we get to like 2025, that's great. And so as a business, we've decided to solely focus on the podcast with kind of occasionally dipping our toes into other things. But we get emails from you guys asking like, you know, how you could support and that you appreciate kind of what we're doing. So we just wanted to let you know, one of my favorite business podcasts actually had someone on and told us about a site called Patreon, where it allows like people who do podcasts or sell music and everything to kind of have people like pay for their work, even if it's not necessarily available in like this tangible form. And so this has been great for podcasts because listeners can voluntarily kind of donate to helping support the podcast. But I won't take up too much of your time, but I just wanted to let you know that we did set up an account. And if you just go to startafashionTruck.com/support, it'll take you right to the page where you can donate. And you can donate as a little to $1 to like $5,000, right? It's kind of whatever you're comfortable with. You can donate as often as you want, just anything that you feel we, deserve. And so I just wanted to put it out there that it's a way to support like and help us pay for things like hosting and hardware and all of that good stuff. So yes, but without further ado, let's talk about who we have on the podcast today.
Our lovely Corin Wright. She is the owner of Style Haven, and it is a fabulous mobile boutique in New Jersey. She is on talking about her actual process for purchasing her truck and the build-out process and what all that entails. So we've really never had a show devoted to the actual truck process. So this is the one where we're going to focus on that specifically, and she does a great job as to sharing how much she paid for her truck, where she found it, all of the DIY steps she went through in order to get the build out completed. So it's a lot of great information.
And what prompted this is on the Let's Talk About Fashion Truck Facebook page, she had posted a video just showing like just the different areas of her truck and like the things that she did. And it was kind of cool. So, we just asked her like, hey, do you mind coming on talking about your build out a little bit more? So we really think that you'll enjoy this episode and really get inspired, even if for your home, like cool things you could do, if you're DIYers.
All right. So we hope you enjoy it. Here we go.
Well, welcome, Corinne. Thanks for joining us on the Can I Park Here podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Well, it's great to speak to you again. We saw your video of your build out in the Let's Talk About Fashion Truck Facebook group, and it was so cool. That was a great idea, like taking pictures and like doing mini videos of each stage of the project.
Thank you. Thank you.
But we wanted to kind of like for this episode really dig into like the step-by-step process. But before we do, we just want the audience to kind of get to know you a little bit better. So can you tell us like, the Corinne before like starting this venture with the fashion truck? Like what were you doing? And then what made you decide to open your own fashion truck?
Sure. Okay. So I've been in business for over 12 years. I graduated from college in 2000 with a fashion design degree and decided I wanted to be, I started off as wanting to be a fashion designer and I was going to take the world by storm. I came home from school and I could not find a job in fashion design. So I ended up going back to school for fashion styling and I started working in the fashion styling area. Well, while doing that, I came across a fabulous company, which some of you may know about, called the Albanelli American Dance Theater. And I started working with them in wardrobe. And for 9 years, I toured with them in the wardrobe department. So I did that, but I always wanted to have my own boutique. Having a store was something that I really wanted to have. So while I was on tour, probably about 5 years into being on tour, I launched a website, which was called Style Haven, and we carried women's and men's emerging designer clothing. And it sold nothing because no one knew who I was. It was just a website. I mean, I was on tour with all the clothes and in hampers, and I was like, I'm going to ship out things, and I didn't sell a thing. I was on the Today Show, everything, didn't sell a thing. So I knew that I needed to come off the road in order to actually work on Style Haven. So I took a big leap and I quit my job. And it was funny because we work by a season. Like, we do an international tour, we do a US tour. And at the end of the international tour, I said, okay, after our New York season, I'm leaving. And that was about a month or two before I was leaving. And as it was getting close, I was like, did I really tell them I'm leaving? I'm like, oh gosh. So, it was time for me to go. And I knew that I needed to do something because once that check stopped coming, I had to now support myself. So I live here in New Jersey, and there is an organization called Rising Tide Capital, and I joined them, and they're like the private sector of small business. Like they help small business, a non-for-profit organization that helps small business. So I enrolled in an 11-week class, and I said, okay, at the end of this, I have to have a store. And I finished, and on January, I signed the lease to my store in Montclair, New Jersey. So I opened up my boutique. It was everything that I wanted to have. I had it for 3 years. And then I said, okay, this is not working because I am for about the last year and a half packing up all of my stuff in the store and going to private parties and festivals, putting it all in my car and doing that. And I said, this is not working. And I said, well, what about a truck? And so that's when I started thinking about launching the mobile business. And here I am today, launched it on October 30th of 2015. And I'm really excited to get this going.
Cool. Now, when you decided on the idea of the mobile boutique, was it something that you just thought of, or did you see other boutiques in your area or heard about other boutiques in different states?
So when I first thought about it was before I opened the store, actually, but I never saw anything like it. I mean, I think of the craziest things, and I feel like because I toured all that time, I was always thinking about being mobile. Like, what if I can bring this to this person? So I didn't open up the boutique, the mobile boutique first, because I didn't know anything about it. I don't even know if your Facebook page existed then, but I didn't know about the page. I didn't know anyone else that had it. So the easy route would be to open a store. As I had the store, I still don't know that I saw any fashion trucks. Of course, I saw food trucks. I started to see things like mobile pet spas. But I don't know that I saw any trucks. And I was like, well, I'm going to just transform a truck into, I didn't know how I was going to do it. I decided I was going to do it. And it's funny because after I announced it, I saw another friend of mine who has a online business, and she's like, I'm doing it too. And she actually launched June of this year.
Okay. Now, when you decided that you wanted to go mobile, how long did it take from that decision in order for you to actually find your truck and get started?
Okay, so I closed the store in March of 2015. I announced in December that I was closing. To be honest, I really didn't start looking for a truck until I closed the store. I couldn't do two things at one time. Like, I really didn't start looking. I did it like little, like on, eBay. And it wasn't until I found you all's site that I really started looking, because I didn't even know where to look. I didn't even know what a truck was called. Like, I didn't know it was called a box truck. A step van. The first time I said a step van to my mom, she was like, no, not a step van, like a box truck. Like, I didn't know the proper terms. So it wasn't until I found your Facebook page, was it that I really started looking. So I would say probably, if I closed in March, probably about April or May that I really started to look.
And where did you end up getting the truck from?
I bought the truck in Pennsylvania, about 2 hours away from my home. And I bought the truck in September, January, March, April, May, June, July. About July or August. I don't remember.
So kind of between actually looking for the truck and then finding that truck, were you doing any kind of preparation? For example, trying to figure out what you were going to put in the truck, or even any marketing, or was it really just solely focusing on, I need to find a truck soon?
So when people came, I had the boutique already. So I had an idea of what I wanted in the truck. When people came to the store, they called, and that's where we get the name, the Style Haven Experience from, is that they said when they visit the store, it was an experience. It wasn't like a boutique. Nothing in the boutique was traditional. We didn't have traditional cash wrap. We had a desk instead of a cash wrap. The clothes weren't hanging on racks. They were hanging on bamboo sticks. So nothing was traditional in the store. So I knew that I wanted my truck to be non-traditional. I didn't know about who to go to do a layout. So I drew it myself. I didn't know about visual, anything that we had on the store for the truck. I pretty much did it myself. And if it was wrong, it was wrong, but I didn't know what to do. And I didn't ask a lot of questions on the Facebook page. There was never a time when I would go on. I asked maybe 2 or 3 questions in this whole process. I just kind of snooped the rest of the way because I know I kind of wanted to do it my way. So I forgot the question because I was just talking. Y'all are going to learn. Y'all going to learn asking me questions, because I'll just be talking what was I talking about?
No worries. I was just asking, like, between the time you said, okay, I'm looking for the truck and the time you bought the truck, were you doing any other prep work or was that your main focus?
Okay. Yeah. So no, I really wasn't doing much prep work because I didn't know what prep work I needed to be doing. I knew that there were certain things. I knew that I wanted to put a black and white floor in there because we had a black and white floor in the store and I wanted to bring that in. I knew that I needed furniture, but I couldn't really look for furniture because I didn't have a truck yet and I didn't know the dimensions or whatever that may be. And I knew that I wanted to do the walls in newsprint because our dressing rooms in the store were all magazine tearings and everybody loved that. So I knew those are the things that I knew. But other than that, no, I didn't prepare until I got the truck.
Now, let's talk about those walls. I freaking love those walls. And I know some of our DIY listeners, I guess the technical term is called decoupage. So, and I love that stuff. It looks awesome. And with the black and white flooring, it looks good.
Thank you.
And what kind of flooring is that?
It's a vinyl peel and stick. So I am a very big do-it-yourself type person. Like I will see something and say, oh, I could do that because I'm pretty, crafty with my hands. And I say, oh, I can do that. And sometimes it works and sometimes it's not that good. Like I'm like, don't lean on that because I put that up. So when it came to the walls, I was like, well, I know how it started. I'll go back to the store. We had to, everybody's doing, well, not everybody, but I'm doing it on a budget. And so I didn't have a whole lot of money. And we had the fitting rooms and wallpaper was expensive. So I was like, well, what can I do? And I was like, well, when I was younger, I would rip out pictures of, I was always into fashion of, Naomi Campbell and put them on the wall. So I was like, why don't I line them with fun fashion stuff? So that's how that came about. I didn't really know how to do it. So I glued them on the wall. And then I said, well, let me get some Mod Podge. And I put that over it. And I was like, that looks pretty cool. And then we had a black and white wall on the outside. And I wanted it to look antiqued. So I couldn't figure out how to do it. So I had some furniture polish, some really light furniture polish. And I kind of glazed that over. And it looked like it was antiqued. And it worked.
Another way that you can antique the look is to, before you put the paper up, you can soak it in tea and it'll darken it, or you can run like a flame over the pieces of paper and it'll kind of like age it a lot.
Nice.
But the tea works great. So you just soak it in the tea and then you lay it flat to dry, or you can put it in the oven.
Okay.
Estrella's craft queen. Whenever I need to do something, I'm just like, Estrella, how do I do this?
But look, she probably does it by the book, and I just make it up and see if it
I'm so random, for real.
I can tell you all the ways of how to not do it. Like that doesn't work. Because one thing, I call it a good quality and a bad quality is I do not like to read. Like I don't like to read directions. And I am a tailor.
That okay? What you tell her, that's me.
You all are two peas in the pod.
Yeah, so I hate reading. I will not touch instructions for anything. I'll go to Nashay and I say, Nashay, do you know how to do this? Can you read this for me? And then I'll ask her for a recap. So I don't have to do anything.
Yes, I'll tell her how to do something and I'll even send her instructions or send her like, oh, here's something from Pinterest. And then she'll be like, can you just tell me? I'm like, the instructions are right there. It's right there.
But if I ask you a question, why would you send me something to read? That makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't do instructions. And like I said, I am a tailor by profession. Like I go and I sew things for people, but I would rather figure it out. And then I get frustrated when I did it wrong because I didn't read the instructions. But that's just me.
Did you put the floor in yourself?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was going to ask, like, because I really wanted to get into the details because we'll add it to the show note for all the listeners out there. But she did a great video that's on YouTube, and we'll embed it into the post so you can take a look at it. But I just wanted to know, like, so after you got your truck, like, can you kind of give us the details of, like, how you decided on the materials that you just, like the flooring, well, you kind of talked about the walls already, but even like, the shelving, the pieces of furniture, and then how did you go about like actually executing all those different elements to make up the Style Haven?
Okay. So everything is pretty organic, like meaning on the fly. So once I got the truck, my dad is a body mechanic. So I knew that he's probably the reason why I am so crafty with my hands, because he can pretty much figure out, if he doesn't know how to do it, he'll just figure out how to do it. So I knew that he was going to help me in this process, especially when it came up to putting up the walls and things. I knew I physically couldn't do that. Even if I thought I could, I couldn't. So he gutted out the whole truck. With my help, I just stood there and said, "Yay, do it! Yeah, you're doing good." And he gutted out the whole truck. And when it came, so we really just figured it out. We lived in Home Depot. We went in Home Depot. He said we can put up some wood with what is it called? Liquid nails, and then insulate the inside, and then put up sheetrock. And I said, well, however it works, that the cheapest it's going to cost, but the best way, let's do it. And that's how we did it. When it came to furniture, I knew that I needed 2 pieces of furniture. I really wanted to use antiques or, used furniture, because I'm a huge thrifter. So one, I actually ended up buying out of, I can't even think, it's like not Odd Lot, but one of those kind of places. One I bought there, but the other one I found in one of my favorite thrift stores. It was $20, and I went on a 50% off day, so it was $10. Then I used some paint that I bought from Michael's for I think it was $19, and I used a coupon, because I'm telling you, I don't shop anywhere where I can't get a discount. So I used a coupon. I ended up paying like $6 for the paint. And then, so I painted it red because I wanted that pop of red. And then on the inside, I painted it with chalkboard paint. So I used the inside as a chalkboard.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah. So, my furniture, the other piece, I think I paid $30 for. The piece I got from the thrift store was $10 and $6 for the paint. When it came to shelving, I went to IKEA and bought 2 really long shelves that covered, the main part of the truck. And then I used hardware from Home Depot as the hanging rods. Because again, I didn't want it to be traditional. I just didn't want to go get a hanging rod. So it's really plumbing piping from the from Home Depot.
Okay. Now, do you have a dressing room?
I do. And that is also plumbing piping.
Okay. So is it like a curtain, or does it have walls?
No, it's a curtain.
Okay.
So the way your truck is, can you kind of go from the front to the back, or do you have to go out in order to, get to the driver's side?
There's a door, so I can come from the back and go to the front.
Okay. Oh, cool. Mm-hmm. And so where did you decide to kind of, I think I've seen like the most of them I've gone into, like kind of the register areas like towards the back of the truck. Did you do the same where it's kind of near the door and near the dressing room? Okay.
Yeah. So mine is in the back, the dressing room, and towards the front of the truck, towards the driver side. Is that the way we're talking about? So my dressing room is there, and the cash wrap is back there as well.
And then how about for the stairs? Did you guys do custom stairs, or did you end up like buying them from somewhere?
So I bought my stairs from someone on the page, on the Facebook page, said they got their stairs. They're a pair of like scissor stairs that fold down. And I waited, lovely Corin, waited about 3 days before the launch and said, "Oh, I don't have stairs." So I had to call and order stairs, and I literally went and picked the stairs up the day of the launch from UPS. So they're actually still not even attached to the truck yet. I literally came in to the launch, put them up, and we had to like wire it to the back so people can walk up and down. So the stairs aren't anything to really talk about yet, but I did order them.
Now, for the exterior of the truck, did your dad paint that?
No. So I wanted him to, because like I said, he's a body mechanic, but he kept talking about how he couldn't do it. Well, he didn't really have somewhere to do it because you need a garage big enough, and he didn't really have somewhere to do it. So I went to Mako and they painted it. And then I had a graphic designer design the outside, and he referred me to a person to put the vinyl on.
Okay. Now, in regards to the total investment, now, what would you say went into this whole process from buying the truck all the way to the final renovation? Like, how much did you put into it?
Okay. I say that the total is anywhere between, it's about 15,000.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, because
that's not bad.
Because the truck was 6,000. It actually was in. I'll tell you a lovely story. The truck, we went to get it from Pennsylvania, and we were coming home. My dad made me drive. He's like, you have to learn how to drive. So my mom is driving our car, and I'm in the truck with my dad, and we're on the New Jersey Turnpike, which is a fairly big turnpike. It's 95, so everywhere has a 95. It's the same thing, big turnpike. And we're driving, and I'm in the middle lane, and all of a sudden it's starting to lose power. And I'm like, oh God, I'm in this big truck. What do I do? And I couldn't make it to the right lane. So I was in the left lane, and it died. And so I'm like, oh my God.
Right after you bought it, huh?
About an hour out from we bought it. And guess what? The alternator went.
Oh.
So I called them, and they were like, oh. So they tried to argue. So they ended up paying for the alternator to be fixed, but I had to pay $381 just to be towed off of the parkway, because you have to go by whoever the parkway, the police call. We can't just call anybody. So I had to pay $380 just to be towed off the parkway. And of course, then they had to do the work because they had it. I wasn't going to pay somebody to come get the truck, to bring it anywhere else. So that right there cost me over $600. So, but to tell you the truth, the truck, other than that, was in pretty good shape. We only had to pay about $600 to $800 to get repairs on the truck once we brought it home and got it to the mechanic. So it was in pretty good shape. We did everything ourselves. So supplies and such. My mama paid for everything. I have to say that because I did a Periscope, and I said, me and my dad did the whole build out, and I got a phone call.
She's like, why you didn't mention me? Wait a minute. There would be no build out without me.
There would be nothing without. I was like, yes, Mom, yes. So my mom paid for everything.
Shout out to moms.
Exactly right. She paid for everything. So that's why I'm really like a little sketchy on the prices, because it came out of her pocket. Now, of course, I have to pay her back, but she made the total investment. What shocked me was the painting and the wrap, because from doing so much research, everybody was like, oh, it's cheaper to get it painted and then get a partial wrap.
Right.
So when people were saying they were paying like $3,000 and $4,000 to get a full wrap. Is that okay? So then,
that's the average that we've been getting on the podcast.
Yeah, but and then the vinyl is a little cheaper.
Right. So I paid $2,000 just for painting. And then when it was time to get wrapped, I was quoted about $1,600, and I'm like, I could have got a full
almost
wrap.
The same, right?
I could have got a full wrap. And something else. I mean, I do everything. When I say I do sometimes reading is not reading is not good because, for instance, I had a graphic designer. He designed it. I did not know the guy who put the vinyl on until after I paid off the graphic designer. And he said, okay, here's, some people. And when I went to the guy, he said, okay, it's going to cost, I don't know, X amount. And I was like, why is it so much? And he's like, because I have to wrap the whole side. And I was like, well, no, it's supposed to be a partial wrap. You're only supposed to, be wrapping. And the way the guy designed it, he pretty much would have had to wrap the whole side, which means I didn't have to get a full paint job, but I had already painted the truck.
Oh.
So if I would have known that, I mean, he didn't end up wrapping the whole side. We changed the design some so he wouldn't have to wrap the whole side. But if I would have known that, then I could have gotten the front and the back of the truck painted and wrapped the sides. And it would have cost a lot less.
Wow.
So,
well, hopefully we have a lot of listeners out there that are just starting out. So you telling them this just helped save them like $1,000 or $1,500.
Correct.
So.
Weigh out all of your options, people.
Right. Don't be like me.
Yeah. And I guess the key too is that design too, when you're working with a designer, right? Making sure that they set it up for just a partial, like making that clear. Now did you end up getting like, anything special put in, like a generator under the truck or, special cooling or heating system or lighting system in the truck?
I shouldn't say no. Yes, I got electricity installed into the truck. So we got electricity, and I went to an RV shop, and so because we're going into winter here, and I didn't have the money for it, I didn't do a cooling system just yet because I don't need it. But I had him install enough power, and I have it so that when I'm ready for a cooling system, I don't have to go get it rewired. I also don't have a generator yet, but I can run power. So the way he wired it up is that I have a plug on the outside of the truck, and I can plug an extension cord into the side of the truck and then plug it into a power source. I can also plug it into a generator. So at this point, because we're going into winter, I'm not going to have as many outdoor outings as I will, come spring and summer. So I didn't invest in a generator yet. But I read on the Facebook page, and then I did go ahead and research it, that I can rent a generator. So if it came if I'm going to go do a holiday market and there's no electricity where I can plug in, I can go rent a generator for a day for about $60. That's going to be a lot better than me, dishing out $3,000 at this point. But I absolutely love the idea of the outside power source, because I have 100-foot extension cord, and I just plug it into the side of the truck, and I plug in, and I have electricity.
Yeah, that sounds like a great amenity to have.
Yeah, it really is. Like, even if you are planning on having a generator, it's a great thing to have, because then you don't have to funnel the cord into your truck. Like, everything's on the outside. And to do the extension cord, again, at Home Depot, I bought a converter and 100-foot extension cord, cut off the end, attach the cords. I could do it. It was so easy to do. And I have a extension cord that plugs into the side of the truck.
Now, speaking of, the things that you can do in relation to operating the truck, is there anything that you absolutely cannot do by yourself and you need help?
So far, there isn't, but I don't have that much experience yet. I've only done the launch with the truck. I've done some other events, but they haven't been they've been indoor events. So I just drive the truck there. So off the top of my head, so far, I'm able to do everything by myself. But I'm sure that's going to change once I start doing events.
So you haven't done any events yet, correct?
Other than the launch, I haven't.
Other than the launch. Now,
No.
how many, because it's about to start getting really cold in New Jersey.
Right.
And I know because I'm in the DC area, so we're like that kind of winter front will hit both of us on the East Coast. Do you plan on doing a lot, before, the end of December, or maybe just one here or there, and then you'll just be ready for the spring, maybe March or April?
It will probably be one here or there. I have a couple that's set up in Jersey City for December. And then I have a lot of indoor things happening, but not with the truck. I'm still actually trying to feel that out of where I can go to. December for me, besides the truck, is very busy because there's a lot of I still work in TV, film, and Broadway. So there's a lot going on wardrobe wise, the holiday shows and such. So I am like split with 3 different jobs in December. So I'm also busy with that. But come January, February, March, I plan on getting out there, even if it's, private events. I plan on getting out there and bringing the truck out.
So the stuff that you carry in your vehicle, do you make all of it, or do you make some of it? Okay.
So I make some. So what we carry is vintage, and then smaller designer, and then we carry gifts and accessories. So with the clothing, it's all women's. With the clothing, most of the clothing is bought. It's not handmade clothing. There'll be some things, especially when it becomes warmer weather. Like I said, I'm a tailor, so I call it restyling. Like I'll take pieces and say it's an ill-fitting dress, I'll make it into a cute baby doll dress or skirts. So it'll be one-of-a-kind pieces on there that I do make. In the wintertime, I do like circle scarves and things like that. Those I make. We carry soy candles on the truck. Those I make. We have lotions and body oils. Another artist makes those. We have soaps, handcrafted soaps and hand-dipped incense. I have another artist that makes those as well. So there are tons of handmade things on the truck. I don't make everything. I try to bring in different artists. In the store, when we had the store, I had a program called the Co-op, and I would bring in different artists into the store to sell their merch. So I try to keep that on the truck as well.
Are you doing anything special for Small Business Saturday?
So Small Business Saturday, I'm not doing anything with the truck because I have to work. This is actually the first year that I am working. I usually turn down work every Small Business Saturday because I'm in the store. And I decided to work this year only because, I don't want to say it, but I don't ever feel very successful on Small Business Saturday. So I'm like, why don't I go somewhere where I can actually make some money?
Right.
So I'm launching a new website, thanks to you too. So I'm launching a new website. So I'll have that ready for Small Business Saturday. We'll be doing a gift with purchase on the website. But the truck won't be out on Small Business Saturday.
No, we can't wait to check it out. And for the listeners out there, Corinne was kind of like one of our winners for our consulting on just websites. And so, yeah, she talked to us for about an hour and bared with us as we said, maybe think of this, think of that. And just kind of gave her a few tips and tricks that she could consider when upgrading her website. So yeah, we can't wait to check it out, and we'll definitely include a link.
Please. I took a lot of what you said in consideration, and I think you'll be pleased.
Jeez.
It's nice and clean. It's straight to the point, and of course, the truck is on there.
Yes.
Do you have any advice for someone who's going through what you went through, but they're going through it now? Like things to consider, maybe your top 3 tips.
Number 1, I will say create a budget. I did not create a budget. And so what happened was, like, I just assumed, they said it doesn't cost that much. And then when it came, it was like, it cost that much. So create a budget. And then number 2 would be do your research, because like what might not cost that much to one person may not be in your budget. So, one person will be like, oh, it only costs $1,500, but $1,500 may be way too much, for you. So
Right.
definitely do your research. But, and I think number 3 would be, like, make it your own, like, be like authentic to yourself. There's, you're looking on the Facebook page, and there's all of these trucks, and just because someone is doing it one way doesn't mean that that's the way and it has to be done. So, be creative and make it your own.
That's excellent advice.
Yes. So, do you have a favorite blog, book, TV show? And if so, what is it?
So I love HGTV. I will leave that on. A lot of times it's just on in the house, even if it's not like I can't hear it. It's just on. It's like I secretly like seep it into my head. So I like HGTV, pretty much any show on there. And as much as I love to do things with my hands, I actually really love cooking. Like,
me too.
Oh my goodness, you guys are like best buds. You don't even know it.
Like tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and I am on the dessert committee because that's what I do. I love to bake, and I am currently making sweet potato pies and red velvet cupcakes and banana pudding in the kitchen as I sit here and talk to you. Also, I really like cooking. So the Food Network is another favorite of mine. I actually, as you know, I don't read a whole lot, but I do get into like some kind of like, I don't know, moods where I'll decide to read like 50 business books. Like, I'm just reading. I'm going to read up on, everybody. Like the next book I want to get is Shonda Rhimes, to Say Yes, her new book that she wrote about saying yes to everything. Like, I can't wait to go get that book. So I'll get in the mood to read something like that. And it's funny because I actually do like to read, even though I don't like to read instructions. Like, I do like to read. My mom, she'll hear this and she'll get really upset.
Oh, she's going to get mad. Oh, no.
Now I'm going to get in trouble. But no, I do like to read. And she knows if you come to my house, I have like a library pretty much in one of my bedrooms. Like, I do like to read. But
there's a strong distinction.
Right. Reading instructions.
Okay. Wait a minute, Estrell. Okay. You don't like to read anything. Okay.
No. I read some stuff.
Okay.
It has to be entertaining to me.
Right.
Instructions are not.
Like, I love magazines, but I'll never read the article in the magazine. Like, I'll look at the pictures, but I won't read the article. I just said to my boyfriend the other day, I said, yeah, I saw this headline. It was I can't remember what it was. I said, yeah, but I didn't read the article. So I don't know really what it's about, but I saw the headline. So, when it comes to that kind of stuff, I don't want to read, but I don't know. Sometimes my brain needs to sit down. So I love reading like business books or like Miss Jessie's their book. I read that, and the Juicy Couture Girls. I read their book. Things that I feel can help me in my mission in this fashion world. I'll read up on that. But yeah, that's what I like.
If you could have any celebrity, entertainer, model, athlete, whoever visit your mobile boutique, who would it be?
Naomi Campbell. Well, I say that with a little because I love, like, there are two people in my full video, like that's a snippet, and I know I'm gonna add more to my YouTube channel with some fuller videos, because then like I show you how I did the wall and and all of that. But I'm talking about the wall, and I'm like, Naomi Campbell's on this wall. At the store, there are two people that have to be on my walls or have to be in my presence, and that's Naomi Campbell and Usher. Like, everybody knows I love Usher. Okay, so if you ever look on my wall, there's going to be a picture of Naomi Campbell. In the truck, Usher's not on the truck because I could not find a black and white picture of him, because I probably tore and pasted up too many pictures. So I need to find a black and white picture of Usher, and then he'll be on the truck. But Naomi Campbell's there. I love her, but I don't know that I need to meet her. And I think it's better that I love her from afar. And last year I did Fashion Rocks, and I worked on the show, and she walked in, and I was like, and I would not speak to her because I was like, if she's mean to me, then it's going to ruin
It will
my
ruin it.
my love for her.
Gonna
So
throw a cell phone at you.
right. So I would not speak to her. But I mean, I love her. Someone else that could visit the truck and I would just be head over heels is Marc Jacobs. Or Donna Karan. Those are my two favorite designers. So if either one of them were to grace my truck, I would be head over heels.
Neat. So, amongst like launching, your mobile boutique and kind of some of your other positions, what do you do in your free time to wind down and de-stress when you have it?
It's funny. That's going to be one of my things for next year is that I'm going to actually pencil in free time because, as you all know, it's being a business owner, you don't have free time. I get in trouble all the time for waking up with my cell phone in my hand. I wake up in the morning, I start posting to Instagram. I go to bed at night and I'm answering emails. So I don't really have free time. So my free time is sometimes, and it might sound crazy, is sometimes just going into my closet and sitting down and closing my eyes. That can be my free time because it's like a forced free time, or or going to Starbucks and getting a frappuccino, and walking instead of taking the subway one day. Walking the two stops that I would take in the subway, just getting some fresh air. That's how I get free time sometimes. So I'm really gonna put in an effort next year of penciling in some free time for myself because it really is hard. This year I like I said, I traveled for 10 years with Alvin Ailey. So after I finished traveling, I didn't want to go anywhere. And this year I went to Norfolk State University and it was homecoming. And I was like, I'm going to homecoming. So that actually felt really good, to go to Virginia and just have fun and not think about, I only posted maybe 3 times a day while I was there. Still, because the business still has to go on. So I did do that, but I did have a good time. So I really want to pencil in some vacations, even if they're staycations. I don't have to, go to Jamaica, for the week, but, even if it's a trip to DC to visit some friends, or if it's, going to Connecticut and staying in a bed and breakfast. Or just going to the city, and going to a movie, whatever it is. I want to be able to pencil in something because I think it's very important, just for my sanity.
Yeah, no, it's important. And then Android or iPhone, and I know you mentioned Instagram, but if you have any other favorite apps, what are they?
I am a Mac girl all the way. I was just at an appointment earlier and they had a PC and I thought, I don't know how to use this. So
what is this? What is
this ancient thing? So definitely an iPhone. And I love Instagram. I built my business on Instagram. I am from New York and I moved to New Jersey 6 years ago. And when I opened the store, I didn't know a soul in New Jersey. I didn't know anyone. And so pretty much the people who know about Style Haven that actually shop in Style Haven are people who found me on social media. So that's how I built my business was on what's that thing called? Instagram. Yeah. So Instagram's my favorite. I'm on Facebook. Of course, I'm on Twitter. But Instagram is my favorite. That's my bread and butter. I'm trying Periscope. It's just that I just keep talking to myself. I need some followers. So can y'all come follow me so that I'm not I did a whole closet, turning your closet into cash. And I'm like, nobody's even here.
You know what? We haven't done one in a month, but what we found that works we've only done a couple, but I would say the one that had the most viewers, we
Mm-hmm.
kind of like posted, in a couple of places, like we're about to go on Periscope. And then when we did, like my phone was the one that had the Periscope on. And then you know how Periscope will like shoot out that link to Twitter, like
Right.
go here to view the feed. We would like, Estrell would like copy it and then paste it in different places, like our Facebook page or, just kind of retweet it on Twitter on our personal accounts. So that might help too. So it's like, hey, watch this. So even if they don't have the Periscope app, if they have that link, they could just watch it on their browser.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I was like, I mean, I like to talk, but this talking to myself thing, I did one while I was on the truck. And I was just a talk. I was like, okay, are y'all going to say anything back? And then this one girl said, do you like Obama? I was like, okay, you know what?
Like we're supposed to be talking about fashion here.
Truck. I'm talking about a fashion truck and building a fashion truck out. And you asked me if I like Obama.
That's hilarious.
So, yeah, and that's the only comment that I've gotten so far. So.
That is hilarious. And another thing too, and I haven't tried it since they switched it over, but you can now, I believe, take video in landscape form. And so if you do like the video in landscape, after you finish that video, you can actually download it and save it. And then you could just put it on YouTube.
Yeah, so I did do that.
You do that?
Some of that video that you see on my clip is actually from Periscope. Like the one, it starts up and I'm showing my hand. That's from Periscope. So that I do have. I mean, at least I can show it again since nobody was talking to me. At least I can do that. But I mean, I think that Periscope is going to be good for me once I get it together. I'm praying on that one. But like I said, Instagram is my favorite.
Well, I just followed you.
Yay. Yep, look, I see it just popped up on my phone.
You got another follower. So everyone go follow Style Haven on Periscope, follow Find a Fashion Truck on Periscope, and we just all support each other.
Yes.
Now, I know Estrell's about to ask the final question of the night, but just one quick question. So, you're saying how Instagram helped you. I see on here you have over 2,500 followers. Do you have like one or two tips for building followers for people out there?
I'm at it's kind of, okay, for me, I put it like this. In the beginning, I was able to gain followers, but now, you know how when you lose weight and then you lose a lot of weight and then you get to that like part where you're like standing still?
Right. That you only started a pound every 2 weeks.
Yeah. You're like, what? I can't lose any more weight. That's pretty much where I am with Instagram right now. Like I got to 2,500 and then I like go from 2,500. I was like 2,560 and then it was like 2,540. Like it just goes up and down. So those are probably like those, fake people bouncing back and forth. But what I will say is hashtags is amazing because think about it. Anytime you're looking for something, you might just, put in New Jersey or, Jersey City or whatever, and you can see what's going on. So hashtags are really great. And just being authentic. When people see that you are like, you have a personality, don't always like just sell. If you're selling something, give out some information, some education. When they see that, they like it. When they're able to interact, because if they think you're a real person, then they'll interact, and they'll say something. And when they say something, respond. I see some people that try to say, like, I have a friend who said, she doesn't respond right away because she doesn't want them to think that, she's there waiting for them. So she'll wait, but sometimes she'll forget. I'm like, but you never responded to that person. So, people like when you actually respond to them because then they know that you're a real person. So,
right.
I say hashtags and just being authentic. I'm a huge supporter of being authentic. Like you can't be somebody else. You have to be yourself.
What POS system do you use?
I use Square. I was like, what is a POS system?
I was like, what is it?
I was like, what? Because we were talking about Instagram like, what?
Yeah, I know. It's like
So yeah, I use Square Register. I use that in the store. I just signed up for Shopify, the trial to try to figure it out. But now I'm frustrated because I use Wix as a website, and I can't just like shift all of my stuff there. I have to now manually enter it, and because it's a brand new site and I just manually entered it into this one, I'm like, are you kidding me? So I don't know when I'm going to do that, but I know I have to. I need some kind of inventory system, because what's happening is I'm, of course, selling things on my website or selling things on the truck or my other, gigs, other vending gigs, and I have to manually, remove it from the inventory. So that's becoming a headache, because I'm like, did I sell a small, or that's a headache. So I know I need to change it, but right now I use Square Register.
Okay. Now, finally, the last question. What would you attempt to do if you knew you could not fail?
Okay. I'm going to tell y'all a silly one, and then I'm going to be for real. I would go to Usher's house.
Oh, God. Okay. Okay. Is this a stalking story?
I'm joking.
Like, I want no part of this.
You're like, cut that out the podcast. Just in case next week she goes to Usher's house and like,
right. Well,
just
we didn't think she was serious.
Just for the record, I've met Usher and I did not stalk him, so he doesn't have to worry, okay? If I could do anything and not fail, I would have a franchise. Like Style Haven would definitely, I mean, this is something that I'm working on down the line, of course, but I would definitely have a franchise, and it would be trucks and brick and mortars.
Oh.
And if Usher came to visit, it wouldn't hurt.
It wouldn't hurt, and we would have one in Atlanta where he can come to visit. Definitely.
See? There you go. And Usher, if you're listening and you're in New Jersey, just follow her, Style Haven, on Instagram and find out where she'll be.
I told you where I worked for 10 years. Usher's a dancer, and we go to Atlanta every single year, and he has not, I've met everyone from President Obama to Janet Jackson. Usher's never come to a show. Okay.
Okay. Usher, we need you to come on now.
I was like, he's hiding
Get
from
with
me.
it.
He knows.
Well, Corinne, thank you so much for being on the show. It was great talking to you again. Where can people find you?
Yeah, so you can find me at shopstylehaven.com. On that site, we have our calendar of where we're popping up, whether it's the truck or just us. So if you see where we're popping up, definitely come in. And daily, please check us out at Shop Style Haven on Instagram or Twitter. And our Facebook page is Style Haven Boutique.
Awesome. Well, everybody, we will include all those links in the notes. We'll include a link to her video too, so you can check out her truck. And again, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was a fun episode. It was great talking to Corinne again.
Yeah, and I think some of the listeners who are aspiring to own their own mobile boutique and they are on a budget, this is a great episode to listen to, because Corinne shares tips on how she actually did things on her own versus hiring a professional. And she was able to complete everything, including the purchase of a truck, for under $15,000, which I think is great. Is a very great price.
Yeah, and I love that she gave, her mom a shout out, because, not everybody, has that support, but when you do have that family or friend support, it really just means a lot, because sometimes that's all you need in order to accomplish your dream, is just that support from others. So, it feels good, don't ever be afraid to ask for help. Because, everybody at some point in their lives that help, and definitely pay it forward too. Like if you see somebody that needs some help and you're able to do that for them, like, you know, help them out. But I just thought that was like a really sweet story.
Mm-hmm. But, you know, if you guys ever have any questions about what it takes to be a mobile boutique owner or tips on how to improve your business, you can actually join our Facebook group. It's called Let's Talk About Fashion Trucks, and you can network with the existing members and maybe get advice from them. So it's a great group. You can also send questions to us via email, or you can go on to our startafashiontruck.com/podcast page and click on the Ask FFT button and leave us a voice recorded message.
Yeah. And just for those of you who just need like, just kind of maybe a brief overview of like, what should I even just start thinking about? If you head on over to startafashiontruck.com and just click on resources, and it's startafashiontruck.com/resources either way. There we list out like some organizations that might help. We talk about like how she was saying, like she wasn't sure like exactly what to call like the vehicle she needed. And there we have like terms like the term Airstream or trailer or the box truck, for example. We have like, you know, possibly where to purchase and look for things, and, you know, some tips on finding events and branding and setting up a website and collecting payments, managing social media, collecting emails, you know, and even document and media management. So if you just need like, if you just need like a general overview and you just want to know like the basic steps, what am I getting into? Head on over there, peruse that, and let that start being like, or let that be the start of your journey, you know, and join the fashion truck group, and do Google searches and YouTube searches, and eventually it'll all come together.
And of course, don't forget, if you're a new listener, to listen to all the episodes.
Oh yeah, that would help too, because we've had some fantastic like truck owners and non-truck owners that just have general business tips that will help you.
Right. And you know, a lot of people start from like the most recent episode, but you know, just go back, and we have episodes on photography tips, inspirational episodes. So we have some of everything. And if you have an idea or a suggestion on something that we should focus on or talk about, leave us a message and we will try our best to accommodate. And also, guys, don't forget to go over to iTunes, leave us a rating and a review. And you know what? We will love you forever. We appreciate it.
You guys just don't know how much your support helps us out.
We need that from you, and you will get all of the love I can give.
Oh, geez, Lord.
I'm hugging the microphone right now, so you guys will feel hugs as you listen to this.
Oh, geez. I'm not really a hugger, people, so you don't have to hug me back. And also, of course, at the top of the episode, I just mentioned a new way to financially support us if you so choose. And you could go to startafashiontruck.com/support. And we'll also have that link in the show notes if you choose to do so.
And hey, you know what? Something fun to do. You truck owners out there, why don't you send us a selfie of you and your truck and tag us on Instagram? We'd love to see it.
Thanks, guys, for joining us. As always, remember you can find us on Facebook, our regular Facebook page, Find a Fashion Truck. You can find us on our private Facebook group, Let's Talk About Fashion Trucks. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at FFT_official_. And then, of course, Pinterest and Periscope. But really, any place you could just do Find a Fashion Truck, and we will come right up. We talked a little bit about Periscope. if you guys have a Periscope idea, I would love, love, love to harass Estrella into doing another Periscope with me. So if you guys want us to talk about something in particular, just send us an email at hello@findafashiontruck.com. Or, of course, just go on the podcast page and just click the little thing and record a message and be like, hey, can you guys talk about X, Y, and Z? And we'll do a special Periscope just for you.
So I know you're tired of listening to us, so we're out.
Peace. Have a
Thanks
good
for
one.
parking here.
Bye.